Well, hello, Dr. Dex. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, ciao everyone, ciao ciao.
So, Dr. Dex and I were talking like this morning about how we're going to approach this interview. And what we're going to do is we're going to answer some questions from the audience, but then we're going to talk deeply into something that we thought was very interesting, right, Dr. Dex?
Yes, I hope at least.
Yes. And like we mentioned, like usual, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below and then we'll talk about them. All right, Dr. Dex, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So at least to start, let's talk about or let's read some of the comments that you've gotten in the comment section. How about we start with Lisa?
Really?
This first question from Lisa: Are there any games with the PM you have yet to try and are looking forward to getting your hands on?
Okay, let's start with Lisa. Hi, Lisa, I see you. Thanks for this question. So, maybe the answer is not so satisfying because the answer is no, basically, because I don't used to replay many games except for soul games, which are a different kind of story. But there aren't any photo modes that I'm eager to try that I haven't already because I never done BP for games I've already played, especially single player games with emotional stories, because for me they are quite unique experience that I want to replay. So I can tell maybe which game I look forward to try with as a photo mode, which is actually I think Inzoi, because this has caught my attention because I think and I hope it will offer fantastic opportunities for portrait VP, and I hope this will be good. Of course, I want to, as a horror VP as I am, I want to take some pictures of Silent Hill, but there's no photo mode, I think. But of course, with the PC, I hope I can be able to take some screenshot anyway. So that's it.
You know, Dr. Dex, I remember when you first got your PC, that gave you so much grief, didn't it?
you make me remember bad memories. Yeah, my first impact was awful because I always be a console gamer. I never thought I just end up with a PC, but VP changing dramatically my gaming style, so I cannot game without VP anymore. So at the same time point I say, okay, if I want to keep keep pick the game that I want to play without be bounded to the photo mode, then maybe there's no photo mode in a game I want to play eventually, so I need a PC, right? But yeah, my first with a PC
Right.
was such a mess, you know.
I do.
But
It lasted you months, right?
yeah, I think I was able to play a decent game after 6 months or so, but because my graphic card was broken and no one was understand that was the problem, so I kept trying to play game, and I just done me why I want to bought this damn PC. So, but now it's okay. I can.
What was the first game you played, Dex,
Yeah,
for PC?
we make
What was like the
peace,
first
me
one?
and PC.
What was the first game you played on PC?
Okay, you are. I cannot hear you anymore. Can you repeat? No, I lose you.
Yes. Is this a little bit okay? If
I
you could hear me.
I no. I keep losing you. I don't listen you.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I might need to change some
Now I
things. I'm
lose you.
sorry, you guys, but at least we were able to. Huh?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. We'll do our best, Dr. Dex. That's all we can do.
You can chat.
How about we do How about we do another question real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Shoot.
Okay. How about this is from Turid. She says, "What are the similarities, differences between real life and VP?"
Oh, well, I think this is quite easy, maybe because virtual photography are two separate words. Probably, of course, what I of course would like to underline is that VP is photography. So, who is keep telling that we are not doing photography is completely wrong. We know that. But the advantages of VP for me include the freedom of movement, for example, the camera movement, even if now with the real life photographers are using now drones, for example, that maybe can emulate a bit the camera freedom that we have in VP, but I think it's different anyway. And of course, the ability to manipulate the environment more through your lighting, and for example, changing the time of the day to get the perfect light. For example, this is huge. Like in real life, you have to wait, for catch the perfect golden hour. But on the other hand, real photography, I think for me that I mainly do portraiture is just, of course, work with real people, capturing their movements, emotion, the body. Of course, this can be yet grasped in the virtual world. In gaming, it's very difficult, get this result with the character, because of course it's impossible, pose them like you want, right? Isn't it?
Right, right. You kind of feel like a god when it comes to VP because you kind of do whatever you want compared to real life. It's in the moment, isn't it? Usually.
uh
You're
um,
still
I hope
sounding like a
I
robot, V.
came
yeah.
across, or if you could hear me.
I sound like
Really? How about this?
I don't want to sound like stupid, but I don't hear you. I'm like, what
Really?
what
No,
what are you
Jack.
saying?
Ask some questions, Jack. I'll come back. I'm gonna fix my mic. Okay?
Can you
Jack,
send me the
Yeah.
the questions? Right, where are we? Sorry about this, Dex. It's the
oh, no
it's
problem, no
definitely
problem. At
the
least I can
Americans
hear
have
you.
yeah, yeah. I'm surprised because we've got a storm going on outside. It's not been
Yes,
very
here
nice.
in Rome is the same. We are about to get a big storm, so I hope I am not blacking out. Yeah.
Okay, this one's from Shinobi. If Twitter or Instagram virtual photography spheres were coming to an end, would you still do VP and why?
Oh, well, I'm really grateful for Shinobi ask this question, because it's one of the things that I care most is maybe use this space just to talk with each other about these kind of issues that involve everyone. So it's about the social media and the pressure, and what we are as a VP, with or without this media that allows us to share our work. So this is a very interesting question. So I can say, in a superficial way, oh, absolutely, I would still do VP, but it's not so easy, I think. I remember, for example, my boyfriend, which is a musician, we had this conversation once, which was so enlightening to me, because he was talking about this kind of frustration, the desire to quit, that I think we all experiment once in a while doing VP. So he said, let's not kid ourselves. Anyone who creates art needs an audience. So without an audience, the artist doesn't exist, basically, because the audience is the vehicle through which the message is delivered. So to me,
Yeah.
which is VP is a vehicle to just bring something that is part of my inner self to the others, just bring a message. So I was thinking, oh wow, this is interesting, because I was like, say, oh, but you have this passion, so you keep just going, no matter the audience, who cares? But he said this, and I said, oh my god, maybe he's right, because while taking photos, for me, for example, is so joyful. uh, it would feel like a process cut in half somehow. So I don't know whether the audience throws me bananas or cheer me up, right? Because it doesn't always end well, we all know. But I think that this is necessary for our work to truly comes to life. So without sharing, it's like writing a letter that's never sent. Like it can be,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Like a
and
diary, like a diary entry or a journal, isn't it? That's only meant for
yeah,
your eyes. You
yeah,
still, yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's okay. It brings me happiness. I love editing, so it's fun to me. But what else? So I think VP now, and the way I do VP, and I don't know if the same for the one that are here today, is just uh, the joy to take pictures, to create art, but also the joy to share. So would I continue? Of course, absolutely, but that joy alone isn't enough. I think it still needs a purpose. So I would definitely look for new ways to share it. That what I want to say. It's just this space is not mandatory. The problem is we don't have to be bonded to this space. Like if Twitter ends, oh, my VP will end because everything will end. No, you just find another way to share.
yeah, exactly. The,
Right.
as human beings, we're born to create art, and sharing it is just trying to find that connection with someone else, isn't it?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think, yeah,
exactly.
no, I totally agree with you on that point. And let's face it, we all took our first picture when we weren't on social media. So if we can do it before social media, we can do it afterwards as well.
Of course, of
Agree.
course. Of course, it's not easy, but yes, maybe we can just work on a website, or maybe put together a local exhibition, or maybe we find out that we maybe do something different that we don't even think about because we are also close at mind. Okay, I know there's this space, and we are not forced to think outside our box. So it could be also advantage, like something that creates new opportunity.
Ah,
Right? This
yeah, no, that
heart.
makes
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and yeah, I would like to know about what other people think about this issue, because it's very interesting for us, because we are talking in this space, and this space is very important for us. We cannot be hypocritical on this part. Yeah, it's impossible just to separate us from this sharing space.
yeah. But if everyone listening, if you just pop in your opinions in the comments, it'd be interesting to get a good read at the end of this.
Yeah.
See how people feel.
Yes. It would be very, very interesting, because sometimes you feel alone, or you think, okay, I'm feeling down or depressed about something on a moment that you don't see that you reach the recognition you want, you desire, but you find out that everyone feel the same from time to time, and it is very useful to share.
Yeah, I always think it's like worrying about like interactions and numbers and stuff. It's kind of like a rite of passage. Everyone needs to go through it
Yeah,
in order to overcome it. It's
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a bit of a
it's
mind
definitely
game at first.
yeah.
yeah,
By the way, can you hear me okay? I just changed my fucking phone.
yeah. I can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was on PC. I'm like, are you serious? Am I gonna really have to use my phone? I guess I do. But anyway, this was such a big topic that me and Dex were talking about, this in particular, because I think it consumes a lot of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that I think many of us can relate it with. the likes, followers issues. We know we often discuss together about, seeing people that are mentally let down and want to quit because no one likes their post and their pictures. And I think this space could be a very good space just to talk a little bit about this and how to help people,
Right.
or to make people feel you're not alone. Because even the more balanced people, like I consider myself balanced on this, maybe because I'm older. I don't care much. I keep doing what I love. But of course I am upset. I'm here for the likes like everyone. So if there's a period that no one likes my post, it's of course it's upsetting, right?
Right.
But of course
And
you
by the
want,
way,
yeah,
mm,
speak.
um, most people most people don't know what you do, and I think so. Dr. Dex, tell them about a little bit of what you do and how this like how this space like, how you see this space through your eyes like that as a
Oh,
therapist. Mhm.
yeah, I don't want to, focus this space with my profession. But of course we discuss it. And I really would like to bring my expertise to make something maybe a little bit different. Not only talk about my VP, which of course can be interesting, maybe
Mhm.
not, like maybe it's more interesting sometimes talk about topics that can be interesting for everyone. So I am a psychotherapist. Okay, this is a coming. Sounds like a coming out. Like, hey, I'm a psychotherapist. Oh, I'm Dex and I'm an alcoholic. No, this is not the place. Okay. So, of course, mental health issues are my, everyday bread. I don't know if it's a way to say it. In Italian.
Bread and butter.
Yeah. In Italian, we
Bread
Yeah.
and
say,
butter. Yeah.
yeah, bread and butter. Oh, it's cute. So you can just use me today to ask something about this topic, because I think it could be interesting. Use this space as a community space, like we are a community, and so to share something useful about this, about how to overcome this pressure, how to just don't get overwhelmed by this urgency to be liked at all cost, and trying to join the right, which is not easy, right? Hmm?
Right.
Yeah.
How would you say like what would be the best way to navigate this space? How would you tell with somebody that's struggling like that?
Oh well, maybe uh, simple one is, of course, what I used to say, have fun. Since you have fun, you're okay. But when you just realize that this is becoming something different, like you are stressed, anxious, becoming depressed about your posting, and if this is start to affect your self-esteem, well, there's something wrong. So you have to just stop and just like regrouping and think, okay, I have to just rethink the old pictures. Because as I told you, we are all here for likes, followers, of course, if you're there. But this game is a dangerous one, because if getting likes becomes more important than taking pictures and enjoying the process of sharing them, this is an issue. For example, for me, I'm not really interested in popularity. I'm an outcast in life, and I'm not outcast in there somehow. Well, my
Not with
goal,
me, Dex.
like you are an outcast, so you maybe. But I mean, I'm not so popular, and I can be because of many things. But probably because my goal is not to let the desire for recognition, which is also mine, of course, override the quality of what I am doing. For example, I could have continued to doing virtual photography in popular games that brought me a lot of visibility back then, but I've always preferred to follow my own path. Like, and I can tell you, this I'm laughing because this may have led to my post being, I think, now at the lowest point in terms of visibility at the moment and likes lately. But for me, whether it's 100 or 10 likes is fine, because I haven't given into the dynamics of wanting to please at all costs, ending up losing my essence. It may maybe sound, I don't know, um, uh, superficial or trivial, prosaic, but it's the biggest truth ever. Like, you don't give up yourself for, you don't sell yourself, never sell yourself, like, for likes. So it really
Right.
saddened me when I read posts from people wanting to quit because they don't get enough likes or visibility, and I totally get that.
Right.
Probably because I totally get that. And maybe this is where my profession as a mental health really plays a role. So I think, if you feel, what can I say, is if you feel stressed or overwhelmed, it's because you are finding your worth in how others respond, whether positively or not. So this is wrong. Self-esteem isn't reinforced by counting likes, but by staying true to ourselves. Being appreciated is important, but never trade who you are for that, because the first person who must appreciate you is yourself. At the end of the day, it's yourself you always be accountable to, not others. So,
Right.
as a maybe as a virtual photographer, I'm not very popular, but I'm free to do what I love. So it's okay.
I think that's a good way to look at it too, because um, I mean, even if you get photos, and I think this happened to many of us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a photo that we post, and it gets so much likes, and we didn't even do shit to it compared to the ones that we paid attention to. And we're like, why doesn't this get enough views? And but this does. And if you pay attention to that, like, oh, the audience likes this, then you start posting those types of pictures and not for yourself. I think that's when you become quite like dead
Yeah,
inside with it. It's not fun no more because you're appeasing to the audience,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah. I think it
so
is.
I agree.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but of course, even me, that I don't much care. But of course, for example, in this moment, I'm a little bit upset. I'm a little bit sad. So from time to time, you think, okay, I quit because I don't gain the recognition I want. But this is totally wrong, right? Because you are giving up something that it's important to you. But if this is not fun anymore, just to close our circle, well, okay, so it's better you quit, because you're not doing right.
That's actually really good advice because you don't want to destroy your mind of doing this. It's supposed to be for fun or it's supposed to give you enjoyment,
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
it is.
Oh, okay. How about Dr. Dex, if you don't mind? Turd asked if you could talk a little bit about yourself, any background, hobbies, and things like that.
Oh, is it really interesting knowing about it? Oh, yes.
Well, I tell you, I think it is.
Okay, okay, if you say so, I believe you. I believe what you say.
That's Turd. She asked. I did.
uh, well, I think what always drives me as a person is curiosity. So during over the years, just this leads me to try 1,000 things, only to get bored and move on quickly. I explored various art form, for example, but always with poor, sort of experimental set. Like, I try writing, music, but please don't. don't look at me or think no, but don't think about me like a musician, because it is not. It's just software, music, like noise music, electronic music. So
Hmm.
no instrumental music, because I sucks. When I was little, I tried violin, and I think my mother still remember that training session. She used to walk inside my my room and said, "Oh, are we killing a cat again?" So I think, okay, I maybe quit with violin. It's not my thing. that, that was a failure. Yes, a total failure. So, but the best thing, and drawing lately, I'm trying to draw something, which is my a long time dream of mine. And this, I must say, is helping a lot. For example, with BP, because I found out now that I sometimes I draw especially when I do portrait BP, I find myself to literally draw on the face, shadow and lights, and knowing about drawing and some technique, tricks about was very, very useful, for example. So,
Hmm.
is there something that you want to know specifically about me?
Well, actually, at least I do. I'll ask, I'm pretty sure Turd's listening. She'll put on the comment. But I want to know a little bit about your little screenplay that you mentioned to me.
you
Tell the audience what you did.
you creature. Screenplay. No, this is yes. This is something I don't like to tell, but
Really?
that's because it's
Oh, no, you don't got to.
no, because it
Fine.
sucked badly. I mean, there was a time. Okay,
Sorry.
I'm not proud of, but I wrote a screenplay for an horror movie, an independent horror movie, which is so awful that I don't want to remember that. But it was fun. It was during the period. I mean, I was I always be a gamer, but I stopped gaming for about 10 years, from my 20s to my 30s, because I was so focused on my love for horror movie. I had this website. I wrote reviews. I had this very popular Facebook page about me suggesting horror movies and so like. And in that period, I met many directors, and so I ended up writing this awful screenplay for this friend of mine now, which is a horror movie director. And yes, but it is not something that I am proud of.
I am so proud of you that you even attempted.
Thank you. It is not my thing. I mean, screenplaying is not my thing.
But I know horror is your thing, right, Dr. Dex?
Yeah, horror. Saying that seems like sounds like dangerous. Yes, horror is my thing, but I'm not serial killer. I'm a psychotherapist, but not psycho. I hope.
I know
What
we mentioned not like putting too much attention, but oh yeah, tell Jack, what's your question?
What's your favorite horror film?
Oh gosh, this is the question that I don't I don't want. I have because there's no answer. I mean, I can tell in a movie without feel that I am left something more important to me. So I can tell one. Maybe I can name. I don't know. I can tell I love, and I don't want sound psycho, because horror movie can just be a tricky issue. But for example, my favorite subgenre is rape and revenge movie. So this might sound a bit awkward. So I don't want to sound awkward somehow, or I'm a weirdo, but well, not like
We're all
so.
weirdos right here, Dr. Dex. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I can tell Last House on the Left, Wes Craven
Hmm.
Forest movie, which is a tough one to watch, but it's very beautiful. So I can tell this one, but yeah, Can we quit with horror now? I don't want to.
I'll tell you mine though.
Can we try? Can
It's
we
not
speak about
Exorcist.
cats? Cute cats and something like that. I like cats, cutie animals. Right.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Dex, she has like 2 cute little cats. Well,
I
three,
have,
three,
I have three.
3. Oh my goodness, and they're beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you, V. Thank you. I see what you're doing. I appreciate you.
Oh man, look, Jack, Cynthia, can you guys hear me? Just say something, please.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I hear
Cynthia?
you.
Yeah,
Not
I
so
can hear
well,
you.
but I hear you. Not so
Okay.
well, but I hear you.
How do you guys manage? I want to ask you this first. How do you guys manage Twitter? Does it overwhelm you? Does it bring like do you anticipate opening the app or is it just something you mindlessly do at this point?
Um, um, Mainly open it if a notification comes through, like a group chat or something.
Okay. Is it something like
Yeah.
that you could see you doing for a long time?
Um, I want to say no, but probably.
Okay. Cynthia?
Um, I know you guys know this, but probably nobody else has noticed, but I've kind of been really inactive for a while. I've just been really overwhelmed with like
Mm-hmm.
personal life, so I have most of my notifications turned off at the moment. So I would say opening it right now. I mean, it depends on the day. Like overall it's fine, but I'm very overwhelmed with like interacting, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
You see,
so
that's a lot that I think a lot of people go through as well.
mhm.
And to balance that, I think is also hard because you have your friends that you want to talk to, but then it's hard to just keep up with everything. And even if you like being here, I think it can get overwhelming, right, Dr. Dex?
Yeah. I would like to ask, but of course I don't want to enter in personal question. But what is, for example, Cynthia, what is overwhelming at the end of the day for her? This space. What does make her decide to quit a little bit, take some
Uh,
distance?
I'm not sure how to answer that. I don't have the spoons, I guess if you know that term.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of things in my personal life, some
Mm-hmm.
like chronic health things that, cause
Yeah.
like long-term pain conditions. And I'm just
Mhm.
tired. And sometimes, and I know it doesn't make sense to anybody who, especially extroverts who probably can't understand it, but like sometimes just interacting like can be really exhausting. And I
Yes.
found that lately it's really caught up to me, like in all areas of my life.
Mhm.
So I haven't really been playing any games. I haven't been taking photos for a while. Definitely not really posting anything except for maybe like an old shot here and there. And I feel bad. I know I shouldn't, but I feel bad because, you know,
Mhm.
I loved the interaction and I love that and I don't want to lose it. So I do plan on, when things smooth down, I'll be back. So I'm not worried about that part. But oh, and also I'm still working on the magazine, so you guys don't have to worry about that. That part's
Mhm.
not affected. So yeah. I didn't know it was gonna turn into my therapy session.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get one in too.
See, I think you did that on purpose because you know.
I would never do such a thing. I would never do such a thing.
I'm
Never
not a
ever.
therapist at the moment. I want to clarify this. I'm out of office, so I'm not. I'm not like that. But yeah, no. It helped me to understand. It is very interesting, this one about the because maybe sometimes we used to think about the introverted person that has the most difficulties about interact and that maybe quit, but also the extroverted people can feel how overwhelming is just be always be there And so they felt like I'm just failing the promise that I am here, always open to talk. And sometimes, so you need to just protect yourself and just say, okay, a step back, right? It's something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I've
Mhm.
learned because I'm similar in age to you, so I've
Yeah.
learned throughout my life that, you know, when you try to push, especially creative pursuits, you really try to push them when you're not feeling it. It just all it does is frustrate you. It can bring up like self-esteem issues, you know, if you struggle with
Yeah.
things like that. Um, and you know, a lot of us have those struggles. So I've just found that I just quietly step back. Like I don't feel a need to announce it or anything, but just take a few steps back. This break has been probably the longest one I've done since I started VP 5 years ago, but you know, I'm sure it'll come back. And I'm still
Yeah.
doing other creative pursuits at the same time, so my energy may be more focused on those as well.
Yeah.
Um, it's like I have a just a small amount, if you know what I mean. Like it doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
But I think, what do you think, Dr. Dex? I think that's probably the best way to go about it. If you're feeling lethargic with doing VP or anything, wouldn't you agree that it's best to just focus on something different and then come back to it whenever you're ready?
Yes, what I was thinking about what Cynthia saying that is very interesting is that is the question of balance. It's just like seems that maybe if you are too much out of balance, and then you are too much worried about the posting, the social media, or maybe such a person that are very involved in the community page, for example, like the beautiful work that you do sometimes can be overwhelming. And then the things that you really like, the creative part, can feel just letting down a bit, and you feel the urgency to, I am a creative first of all, because I ended up here because I create something. So this must be the focus always, right? So I think, for example, the reason that I never, at least for now, feel the urgency to just step back from this space is that I try to stay balanced. And I remember that at the very, very beginning, probably no one remembered this. I had this VP lab with another VP that she's not doing VP anymore. It was a very fun tag. When we invite people to, we pick up a picture, and everyone pick up a theme every week, and we just encourage people to. It was about editing, encourage people to learn about editing and explore editing. So we asked to together work on the same picture and see what everyone can do on that picture. But that was really fun. It was a huge experience. But at a certain point, I feel like I was just losing my focus on my work, and I feel okay. I can't do this anymore because I don't want that this became my major focus. I need to create my own picture, so I quit. I missed the VP lab, but it was a healthy decision in that moment. You know what? It's I think we need to step back sometimes and think about if what I'm doing for, because it's involving people and getting the recognition. This is good, but am I losing my main goal, which is sharing my creative work?
Right. Like you don't want to lose yourself by giving so much of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, you have to balance, you have to pay attention, because it's easy that you just slip into other field that you don't want to step in such bad places, because something that is
Mhm.
good, is constructive, can become easily destructive.
Yeah. And I realized that because I remember I was juggling like too many pages at once just because I was so excited. But then you realize you can't do everything.
Yeah.
You have to choose what you want to do and how you want to focus it on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. That's There has to be a balance to your virtual life and your real life too. And I
Mhm.
think it's hard to do that sometimes.
Yeah, this is another big topic, like how we balance virtual and real life.
Right.
That's
Like, does it become consuming or
yeah.
can it not?
Mhm. Yeah, that's a tough one. Um, I can tell, for example, I personally need to be very careful about this topic because since I was little, I'm aware I use game just to escape reality. I need to escape reality from time to time because it's very overwhelming to me. And because let's say that reality sucks a bit, we can say it. And maybe it's not like the perfect virtual world in which we sometimes escape. And I use gaming, I think still now, like an escape form from reality. So but for example, I know this and I need to be careful because sometimes I find myself that I just I uh, I get too much further, and I need to just stop and come back into inside the real world because no, this is very difficult to understand when you are just exaggerating. You are just you know too much in the
I agree.
reality, right?
I think for a while, I think I was way too into it until I had to realize I had to take care of the real life stuff first. And I think once you do, I think naturally you will have a break with the social media space,
Mm-hmm.
and it's healthy to just do that, right? But once if this becomes your whole thing, it's not so good. And what's that? One second. Yeah, go for it. Oh, no, go for it. Anyway, like I agree. I I think creating space to take care of your real life is the better thing to do in order for you to have a good like, social media presence, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that was a really good topic when it comes to mental health. Do you have anything more to share when it comes to that?
Well, I mean, if I don't know now. I don't. I think the major point we discussed, and I'm pretty happy about the opportunity to just bring up this. And if maybe we find some other things that we come in mind to tell about this, we will for sure during today. So let's go and we see.
Okay. Well, how about this? There's just a few more questions.
Yeah.
How about, okay, this is a really cool one because I think this translates to both your virtual photography and your real life photography. It's how has it evolved into a passion for real life photography, particularly low key portraiture?
Okay. So. Um, well, when I start BP, I can. Well, I didn't know anything about photography, of course. So I start. I remember I opened PhotoMode, just mess up with the settings. I really cannot understand what I was doing. So I realized, okay, you are doing photography, and so you don't know shit about photography. So what to do? Right? I remember this. I want to tell because it's just I start to move the exposure, contrast, and see what happened. And one thing that is just state like my first golden rule ever in VP: you never touch exposure. You don't touch that damn exposure ever. You can change everything, but please don't touch exposure. So so I start simply reading, learning, and then I downloading software. I immediately understand that what I want to do is I don't want to take screenshots. I want to put my own imprint on the image. So what to do? And I can tell I was incredibly lucky because one of the first the two person that I met in this community that are no longer VP, unfortunately, they were and they are amazing photographers. So they give me precious advice about and push me to understand how important was to step into the real world of photography if I wanted to improve or make a difference in VP, at least in my VP. So that's why I ended up in the real life photography. I bought a camera, as they suggest. And of course, you can imagine, I didn't understand anything in VP. You can imagine the transition to real life photography was even worse, was a shock, because this was a way a difficult beyond my thoughts. So, but giving up is not my nature. So even was frustrating, I just keep going. So thanks to VP, I found out that I have a passion, which is okay. I tried landscaping, macro photography. I like very much, but it's not my thing. I immediately get drawn by the portraiture, especially the low-key photography, because in my view, low-key photography allows me to explore people's souls through the dramatic play of shadows and light. I'm particularly interested in the shadow side of our souls for many, many reasons, because I am very affectionate of my shadow part. So I wanted to enlighten the other, and I wanted to bring up the shadow part of the people just to say you are beautiful. Even your darkest sides are very beautiful. So that's why I think I get into this portrait or Loki.
And I love the way you say that, because I was looking at your real life photography, and I'm gonna post it and shortly so everybody could see. I like the way you have almost everybody off guard at first.
You know,
Is
I
that
am.
intentional, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I have a sneaky trick with people. But I can tell you, because I hope no one that I want to portray will ever listen this, because you know. But I have a trick. It's a bit sadistic one, but it works, because I used to photograph regular people, not models. I love work with folks who basically have never been in front of a camera before, so they often don't know what to do, and I purposely don't give them instruction, so they start to, you know, feel like awkward. But I need them to feel caught off guard, and that they adjust on their own. So the result usually is that they start to feel, of course, stupid, awkward, and just gradually relax. But they start to ask how do they should pose. So I start to give them random pose to try, but I really don't care about pose, because I take the shot either before or after they try the pose without telling him. That's my trick. Because
That's so cool.
because
I think that's clever.
you know what, because this way, whether they realize it or not, they end up being themselves in that moment with all their vulnerabilities, and that's where I found the shadow, like when you're anxious about the performance, and not while you are just faking a pose that is not natural, but I caught before or after, when your emotion just pop out, and it worked. I mean, it works until now, but maybe now they know my tricks, so my career is ended.
No, it has not. If you don't send them this
I
recording, I think
expect
you're gonna be
that.
okay.
I
Everybody, I sent Dr. Dex's photos and like her general photos on in the comments if you want to see how she takes real life photos. I think they're seriously, Dr. Dex, I think that they're one of the most beautiful ones I've seen.
Oh, V, don't say that.
Yes, I like the expressions. Obviously, I don't know a whole lot, but I love the way you catch their expressions and the poses.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I choose maybe the one with the cat, for example. I'm very happy about that picture. The one that maybe knows a little bit more about photography may can just see that this is far from perfect picture. But if you know how difficult it is to capture a cat in a picture, of course, this is a picture happen. Yeah, you know, right? Everyone that has a cat, or I don't know about dogs. I'm not into dogs, so I don't know. But trying to take pictures of cats is it's a nightmare. But of course, that pictures happen as an accident, an happy one, like Bob Ross used to say, it's a happy accident, and
It's a
yeah,
happy accident.
the happy accident. And I was so happy that because I was having this shooting with this girl, which is my cousin girlfriend, which is a beautiful woman, half Japanese, half Italian, and I was so happy to shoot her. But we were at my home, so I don't know why I had this dead rose, this dry rose, and I told her, just let's try something with this rose. And of course one of my cat get so interested about that rose that pop inside the shooting session, and I managed to take this picture, which finally is a picture when my cat is posing and he doesn't know. And so I'm happy about that picture.
Sorry, Dex, but he disappeared. You got a lot of love for your real life photography in the comments. They look
Just
absolutely
beautiful.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
they are really
gorgeous.
nice.
Thank you. Well, this is the best gift VP give me. VP gives me such, many gift and satisfaction, and this is one that I like to think about VP like this way, like they give me also this uh, portrait in real life photography that I never expected. I mean, as I told you, I tried tons of art form, but I always avoid photography. That it's can be strange, but I always think about photography. The last things I could have been interested in too, because I mistakenly think that photography is just okay. You pass by and take screenshot, like many of yeah, like many people comments about virtual photography like that, like, oh, what are you doing? Nothing special. You just screenshot in a game, And I was maybe one of them, So it's
You
surprising.
see a lot of that, don't you? A lot of people who've
Of
never really
course,
taken a picture in a game always comment silly things like that.
yeah. I think everyone experiment this kind of comment, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really annoying because I try to say, okay, we are doing photography. I tried, but it's useless. Sometimes you just get involved in this discussion on this media, and this is another maybe topic because I'm spending my VP is really focused on editing, so I spend many hours on that. So someone passing by and say, "Oh, I can do it." Myself. Okay, oh my god, yeah, okay. It's a bit
yeah,
frustrating.
yeah.
I can do it. Okay, you do it. So come on. Yeah, do it.
Let me see.
Yeah. It's
So
a bit
this
annoying.
leads me to ask you this. So
Yeah.
what drives your curiosity and desire to improve your skills, and how do you seek to express your inner self through your art?
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one. Uh, as I told you, surprisingly, I don't know why photography, virtual photography, is something that I keep going. I still, this hasn't bored me until now, at least. And I think because, first of all, it's related to gaming, which is something that I deeply love. And I don't think I ever quit gaming, even if I'm old. But yeah, I won't quit. I think I will game until the end of my life. Probably, I don't know.
Same, Dr. Dick, same.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So I think this is why. But what seems to work for me is constantly changing my approach, which helped me learn new things, like curiosity. I need to learn. I need to feel that I'm moving, I'm evolving constantly. So, for example, we can say recently, I really felt I was particularly bored with my shots. I don't know if these things happened to you. Like you look at your shot and you say, "Oh yeah, the same old story. Oh, boring. Oh, the same landscape. Oh, the same old trees. What are you doing?" And I start to feel very bored. So I don't know, and it is happening right now in Black Myth Wukong VP. I totally switched to more minimalistic approach. I'm trying something very different from what I used to do normally. Extreme cropping, something like slightly different editing technique, maybe something more heavily editing. And yeah, I think it's working. So I guess it's this ongoing evolution, and of course the fun I have while doing this we already discussed. I need to have fun. So
You
what
got
I
the
like,
queen of minimalism right here. I bet you she'll like your minimalism shots, Miss Mullen.
um,
She
Miss
creates
Molly. Yeah.
the most beautiful minimal. I thought it was the easiest shit to do. It's not. I cannot do minimalism. Not well enough
It's
anyway.
so hard to do, isn't it?
No,
Yes.
yeah, minimalism is very difficult, and I find myself, I'm surprising myself because I always thought, okay, you can do this, you can, but I'm trying and I'm seeing. I don't know if I can call what I'm doing minimalist. Something maybe yes, something no, but at least I am happy. I can say at least I am happy. What I want to say is that since when you post edit so much, when you take a shot, you always have a vision of where you want to go. I mean, I must imagine what I want to achieve before I can see it, because it's not only a screenshotting issue. So you have to be, you have to have a wider range. You have to imagine beyond yourself, beyond what you're looking at. So for me, every shot has a purpose, has a meaning. Say something for myself of myself. Whatever it's something uncomfortable, maybe painful, maybe silly, maybe superficial, but I try to say something. So my even if you don't know, every single shot of mine has a purpose that I is trying to express through lighting, first of all, because light is my biggest passion. Maybe perspective, subject, if it is possible, but in VP is very difficult with subject, with characters. But what I try is just send a message. So doesn't care if you caught the message. The important if I'm saying something and you can read whatever you want, because this is what a good audience do. Take whatever they want from your art, and it's okay. It's the best part, maybe.
Some insight, girl. I I don't think many folks, or maybe a lot of people do, but I don't think many people always put themselves or their emotions into a photo. I don't always think so. What do you think, Jack?
um, I think you, I think you tend to develop that. The
Mm-hmm.
more
Like your
you, I
time,
mean, at first it's probably a pretty picture, isn't it? And
Mm-hmm.
right?
the more you learn how to express yourself.
Yeah.
That's true.
Um, yeah, so I think it's definitely the more you do it, the better you become at expressing yourself and putting thoughts and feelings into it.
Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, of course, at the beginning, I don't even want to think at my VP at the beginning, but of course, the meaning,
Don't we all?
maybe the meaning like a bit at that time. I missed the message a bit, maybe in the first, but It's totally
What
true.
what do you feel your VP says like nowadays for you though? Like what emotions do you usually feel typically nowadays?
You know what? Actually, I don't know. I mean, it depends. It depends. For example, as I told you, maybe some of last shot tell about me I am really bored, and but now they are telling, okay, I found my, my space. I'm just finding a new self, and I'm finding a new reason to be there, because I can tell that recently I was just a little bit, I wasn't just motivated, but now I'm just happy. I'm happy, and whatever this means, it's okay for me. So maybe now is yelling joy at the moment,
That's
but it
cool.
depends on the picture, right? Every picture, for example, this one that I see you post, the scars, the title, the black and white, this is a deeply painful to me portrait. I really like that. I went in deep with shadow, and it's a very dramatic portrait. It's very painful. Sometimes it is painful, edited pictures, if it's very related to the shadow part. So it's not
Is it the
always.
one that the lady's crying? That
Yeah,
one that you're talking about? Oh, okay,
yeah.
let me post it.
The crying is very dramatic and depressive message. Yes, I'm sorry.
No, I like these feel. I like that. I like that any type of photo elicits any type of feeling. You know,
Of
me and in Mullen's interview, we were talking about how it actually makes you feel physically. And I think that's a good conversation to have as well, continuing on with that. Like, like she was mentioning how Mullen, I'm sorry if I butcher it. Whenever she does a minimalism picture, like it does something to her brain, it just itches the right side of it. You could
Mhm,
tell us what it really was, Mullen, but I'm like, I wonder if many people have these types of physical feelings as well whenever they post a photo that they like, really like.
mhm,
Anyway, people, I posted the photo of the lady crying, and that's really, really pretty. I like the softness of it. Looks like a paint
mhm.
stroke, by the way.
Yeah. See, the beauty of this is that I enlight something, but you see something different. To me it's very painful, but for you maybe it's soft. It's maybe give a feeling of softness, or something that is not so dramatic, but is nicer than my perspective. And this is the beauty of I don't want to say hard about my work, but in general, no, that everyone can just take their message, the thing that they want to feel. And this is the beauty, no, of what we do, or we try to. Maybe we succeed, maybe not, but at least we try. That's important. Oh, V disappeared.
She has disappeared again. Where is she? Get
Yeah,
you approving B.
yeah.
Starting
She
to think
left.
she doesn't like us.
I probably, yes.
Yeah. Are you back,
Got
B?
kicked out. Yeah, I got kicked out. Twitter just kicked me the fuck out. Anyway, I heard a bit of it. Anyway,
Here
Dr. Death, that
he
was really
is.
sweet.
Ah, she's playing hide and seek. We see you.
No,
We see
I'm
you.
hiding. Don't look for me. I'm scared.
We see you. We clearly see you. Stop doing this joke.
Dr. Dex, what do you feel? Do you want to open the mic to the audience and see what they have to say, maybe?
Of course. I will be glad if someone wants to say something.
Dr. Dex doesn't bite, okay? Maybe she does. I don't really know. We'll have to see. But anyway, come on and ask a question or three or four. Come on. Don't be scared. Now, while we do this, we have actually the hardest question
Yeah.
to talk about.
I'm afraid. I'm scared. I don't trust you. I don't know why, but I don't trust you.
You should. I feel like you should trust me. So
So
anyway,
I,
okay, ice cream or cake?
no, that was the Turid one. This is so mean. A question that poor Turid she doesn't know, but well, I would say both, but I can eat because I'm lactose intolerant. So I
Look, as
Oh,
long as you're near a restroom, who the fuck cares? That's all I
yeah,
have to say.
so this is I would like to eat some sweets, but I do. I confess sometimes I indulge anyway. So I used to love baking cakes back then, but of course I stopped because ended up to just baking cake for others, and I ended up to watch others eating cakes. So I quit. I I don't
No,
bake.
don't quit.
I don't bake cake
You,
anymore.
you have to make some so you could take photos.
Oh yeah,
just for the photos.
My favorite type of actually photography is food
I,
photography.
I bet that. I bet that, Bianca. But I'm not into food photography, for example. This is something
I'm
that I,
very sad. Very
yeah,
sad. I'm
I
depressed.
don't like. I'm sorry. I don't like food photography.
Fine, you have to take pictures of flowers then. I guess I could forgive you if you do that.
Edible flowers. The compromise.
That's a good combo. Yeah, I can arrange something. Okay.
What would be an edible flower? Wait, sorry, that was dumb. Okay, how
Oh,
about while
Obi-Wan
we're waiting?
Kenobi has asked one in the
Go
comments.
for it.
Do you have a go-to game when you are sad or depressed or in a bad place where you just like to free roam and capture stuff? I suppose your
Well,
comfort game in a way.
I don't know because as I told you, I don't like to replay games. So I mean, maybe I don't have a game where I want to just come back and that I feel it's gaming in general that do this for me. So it's whatever game I am enjoying. So I don't have specific games. I have my favorite game, all time favorite games, but when I try to, for example, for VP, I try to replay some game that I really, since it's my favorite game, like Fallout, or I tried Death Stranding. I tried several of them, but I couldn't just. I quit after a couple of hours. I cannot replay the game, so just for VP. So every game is good for relax, or just
She
dissociate
plays
from.
Elden Ring, Obi-Wan. She plays the shit out of that.
Elden Ring to relax.
Well,
What?
yeah, well, I can't say it's yeah, it's relaxing, but yes, it's challenging. It's a it's a total different, that game I keep replaying tons of times, but this is a total another kind of games, and yeah, I like the challenge. So not relaxing, but good.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
terrible at games. I can't do.
Yeah. She told
Yeah.
me one time, she's like, "Are you gonna beat the game?" I'm like, Elden Ring. I had a friend who took me and like took me to the whole thing. I did not beat it by myself. And she's like, "You gotta do it for yourself one day." I'm like,
I know that kind of game. You like it or you don't. You hate or you love. It's black or white. It can be great. I totally get it.
yeah, it's alright.
No,
But oh, you know what? I don't think we asked this question. Tell me if you
and
Oh,
she disappear again.
I, oh, it just says connecting and requesting again.
Ah,
B, you need a
okay.
new internet provider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least say goodbye. Let me say goodbye at least. Yeah, give me this
No,
chance.
no, I'm really good bad at goodbye, so I don't do it. Did we
Uh,
ask Miss Lisa's question about the achievements? Because I could ask that question for you.
oh, that one was the Lisa one about the achievement.
Right. Did we ask that? No, right?
No,
You know
like
what? Okay. Let's ask that
I
one.
opened
Yeah.
the question because Lisa asked about the achievement. Oh well, so the achievement issue brings such a. I mean, it's funny right now, but it wasn't funny experience at all. I'm not much a show off person, so I barely share my small achievements. I mean, and I prefer maybe to celebrate other successes, not mine. Of course, when you start and you just receive some likes or retweet from the devs, so you share and say, oh, they like me, look at me. But now it's something that I don't do anymore since a very long time. But there's a funny story about the achievement because I don't know why you don't just uh, think bad about, but I am obsessed about the share of the week, PlayStation share of the week. I was
Yes,
obsessed.
you're always telling me to do it.
I'm obsessed. So I really want badly be shared by PlayStation. I don't know why, because I'm grow up with PlayStation and Sony, and so I really want to be tagged with to and be there on the PlayStation, account so bad. So I think in 4 years I keep trying, not every week, but almost every week. So I remember once, of course, every Friday I look if I was picked. Is this the right time? Is this the right time? Of course, never happened, never happened. And that week, oddly, when I check, I didn't see the usual posts they on Twitter used to, and I thought, okay, maybe they must have an issue, and this week they won't post anything, no share of the week. So a friend of mine message me and say, hey, have you seen it? You've been featured. I mean, what? You're even on the cover. It's on the PS blog that I never check, of course. And I was like, but yeah, they even posted this week. I was like, what? I mean, it's been years I try to be featured, and the one I succeed, they won't post on Twitter. I can celebrate. I was like, no. I think that moment it was probably the lowest moment of my old VP career, and maybe for about 10 seconds, I think, okay, I quit. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. I mean, no, I'm so unfortunate. How can be that they never jump that post ever in years? So I wanted the story as an happy ending before because when I just I was okay. You just keep going, keep trying, and yes, they luckily pick me since that moment. Maybe because my posts are now more visible than others because they tag me once. They just keep me for the share of the week. I mean, I'm will be shared 8, 9, 10 times now. So, but I keep sharing because I'm happy. But that time was so bad, and I was so unlucky.
And without you, I would have never gotten that one share of the week.
Yeah, yeah. I keep telling you, and you say, "Oh, but you are obsessed. Like you have to share. This is your team. Please share this week." That's the
I
only achievement
know.
I want. That's the only achievement I want. I don't care about anything else. It's okay. I'm okay. Now I can die happy as a VP. I the PlayStation share my shop.
I, that I don't know. That is a big one, especially it's because it's PlayStation, right?
Yeah, I think yes. I think so. I think yeah. Mm,
Well, how about this, Dr. Dex? How about the last question would be for any advice you would give anybody who becomes a VP or is going through VP and navigating this place?
Well, I don't know if I am the right person to give advice, because I feel that I am still in learning process. So I don't know. I can say the most basic advice: don't be afraid to dive in and experiment, especially with photo mode, and make mistakes. Don't stop as just using the photo mode, but learn editing, which is a game changing, a really game changing. So download software. There are many free software. You can just start. At least can feel overwhelming, but you learn. You follow tutorial. You stay curious, and never think that. Never settle for just taking a picture and post the picture. Work on the picture. Change your angle. If you think something might be interesting, but you're hesitating because you start to think maybe others won't like it, then that's precisely the moment you have to capture the picture and post the picture. So focus on what you're interested in you, and not other might like. And I think this what makes a virtual photographer stand out is being able to look at the photo and recognize them as, oh, it's him, it's her.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the best compliments ever I received is when someone say, "Oh, I don't need to look at the ID. I know that's your pictures." So I'm happy because, okay, I achieved my goal. I have a brand. I branded my picture, and that's what is the difference. So keep experimenting, keep trying, and don't be afraid to post shitty. Everyone of us has posted really really shitty pictures, many of times thinking they were good and find out that they are awful. So just be brave.
Yeah, it don't matter either. So just do it anyway, right?
Of course, have fun and post it. Mess up, post it, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, that last sentence, brilliant. Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride,
For
right?
real.
We have to enjoy the
Well,
ride.
Dr.
So,
Dex, this was amazing.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you for joining with us, and Jack, thank you for hosting as always.
No worries. No, it was great to get. I've always admired your work from afar, Dex, these past few years. It's nice to get to know you,
Thank
the
you,
person
thank
behind
you.
the account.
Yeah, it's me, but I thank you, of course. I thank you because you are giving this huge opportunity just to, you know, show up and talk about, ourselves. And it's great just to have a chat with you that maybe we spend tons of hours together and never had the chance to chat seriously sometimes. So it's good to that I was part of this, and I'm thankful, really really thankful. And of course, since I value time, I really value time. Time is very important, so I want to thank the people that wanted to spend time this hour with me. I really appreciate. I know the time is precious, especially Sunday when you maybe want to play game or do your stuff, but you just stop by to listen my nonsense. So I really really appreciate. I
You're so
really really
sweet,
like
Dr. Dex.
I, I really love you all.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
thank you.
No, thanks for
Bye,
joining
you
us.
guys.
See you
Thank
later,
you.
guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.